So Metabeam creates apps that promote and enhance Hollywood movies and television. Now this includes apps for the small screen, like your portable media devices, and it also includes apps for the big screen, like your internet-connected televisions and your Blu-ray disc players. So in 2007, we developed the first technology for Metabeam. It was a meta menu creator, allowed you to create pop-up menus by tagging the movie, and then you would just automatically give you a user interface that was professionally produced. In 2009, we peeled the menus off the screen and introduced an iPhone app called Meta Smart Remote. As the name implies, the remote control aspects are the features so you can navigate the movie without calling up any kind of chapter selection, or you could follow along with the dialogue, and you can tap on a line of dialogue and go to that right place in the film. Someone else in the same room with a different device could be doing something completely different, like tagging scenes from the movie and sharing them via Facebook and Twitter, looking up and seeing what the actors are doing, actor bios, looking up the soundtrack, buying the soundtrack, and so on. And so today, we are still producing Hollywood content. We have a robust set of tools that we've done to do this. I'm showing you in production now is a video commentary with the movie The Expendables, and Sylvester Stallone is doing a video production, a video commentary. He actually pauses the movie, says something about it, restarts it. So it's like having Sylvester Stallone in your living room on your couch next to you, talking about the movie as he's watching it. So the real important thing for you to understand is that we are now encapsulating that toolkit so that anybody can create these kinds of applications and distribute their content just like the studios.
Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, so I know for myself, I don't watch anything alone anymore.
Right.
Like whether it's interacting, like we're watching the Oscars, we're all tweeting back and forth, commenting on people's outfits, how ridiculous, this person looked and sounded. And then also when I'm just even alone watching a movie, I automatically go and I go on my computer and I look up the IMDb information, a little bit more about the actors, stills from the background.
You're not alone. I mean, Nielsen did a study last year where they showed that 3 out of 4 Americans go online and look up something while they're watching a television or a movie, and they do this every day. So that's 3 out of 4 people that do this. What we're doing is creating a toolkit so that the producers can tap into that and connect the screens, all the screens in the room, so that you have a tapestry of connected devices.
Well, yeah, because currently the producers wouldn't be able to see all of that activity, who's watching what and looking up different content at different times until it's actually tied into their
That's
production.
correct, yeah.
Very cool. All right. So, judges, some questions.
So it seems like you've done some kind of a pivot. Is that fair to say? You started out doing one thing and then you sort of switched to another?
This was actually always the vision of the company. We were waiting for we started the company saying infrared light beams are not the way to control media. Metabeams are the way to control media. So we had to define what that meant. Infrared light travels in one direction. You have to point it at the device. You can't actually move the media. You can only say play, pause, stop, forward. We saw that computers were going to become ubiquitous. You're carrying them around in your pocket. And so when the iPhone came out, we said, of course, that's going to be the first place that we do this. And where we're different than other remote controls is that we're actually an extension of the content. So just like a DVD has menus authored into it, our software allows you to do that on an extended basis so that you can, we call it connecting the canvas.
So both the piece of content has to be Metabeam enabled and the person has to have your app?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. This is a system that talks to each other. So if you think of the app as a client, it's talking to the cloud, and the media is on the cloud. So it's really a magic trick. The remote control is a fallout. You're watching one thing, and then you're telling the other computer to watch it at the same location.
Seems like a chicken and egg problem. I guess you'd have to make sure the content creator and distributor also distributes the iPhone app for you.
This is why we started in Hollywood and Blu-ray disc, because we already have hundreds of thousands of users, if not millions, who are using our software because Hollywood produces the content and releases the app. And they're telling users, go get Metabeam, go get the Metabeam app. And so our model is to extend that to everybody. So we'll have a freemium model where we are allowing access to the toolkit, and that producers, musicians, so on and so forth can use the tools to distribute their content, and they have to they bake into the content, go get the Metabeam app to enjoy this on other screens.
It could be like Intel inside, the little thing, it could be Metabeam inside, right?
I think what we're trying to do is become the idea is that beaming the content so that it's in front of the user. It's where the user wants to be. And a lot of people are trying to solve this on a hardware basis, but if you start with the content, and you say the content, and then what we're doing is building in the permissions into our service. So for example, you can, if you're an independent filmmaker, you already have a trailer for your movie. You already have the movie in a digital form. You can upload it to our service and so you basically create an app that has the trailer, a bunch of notes, and maybe it has a movie or a portion of the movie that you can watch mobile. But if you try and beam it to your big screen, watch in high definition, it prompts you to pay. Those are the types of things that we're automating so that anybody can distribute this kind of content, and all they have to do is tell their users, go get the Metabeam.
So, Chris, you mentioned that your vision for it was to create this product that exists today. Have you realized the full extent of your vision?
As soon as we release, we will have realized the full extension of the vision, yes.
And with that, how are you going to monetize the business?
There's two ways. The freemium model I was talking about, where we upsell to the producer side, because if they want to create, like Lionsgate has, a Kick-Ass app, an Expendables app, an Apocalypse Now app, you can create your own apps using our tools too. You just have to pay us for the developer kit. And then we'll also have, once our audience gets big enough, we'll have advertising revenue from the free player side.
So professional development is your revenue stream in the near term?
It's professional video producers.
And so you
audio.
license it to the producers, the
That's
toolkit.
right. It's software as a service for the audio and video producers.
And do you see that model, the revenue part of the licensing arrangement being the driver, or the advertising over time? And how do the two kind of coexist?
Okay, I think that the production revenue is going to be higher in the short term, but the advertising revenue has much bigger potential if this gets adopted by everybody, and that's what we're trying to do, is become the source for multi-screen production. There's no other software that allows you to inherently create applications for multi-screen.
So you mentioned musicians. You said you work with musicians as well on this level, or how would you do that?
I am a musician. I have lots of musician friends. We have not worked with musicians on this level, but there's really no reason why any musician couldn't take this and run with it. If you already have an album of songs, you just upload all the content, liner notes. We create the interface for you. It's pretty easy. And then you can sell it any way you want. So you can beam the content to your...
So if you're on stage, a musician, you could like beam the content into your audience to anybody who's receiving it?
Well, that's a great idea. I love that idea. Hey, everybody get the Metabeam app, and you can take this with you. Yeah, a live application. That's the kind of thing I love, is people come up with better ideas than we do. It's like, and that's the way it should be. This is a platform. It's a connected canvas.
Ooh, so are you going to have an API then off some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
stuff? Yeah,
That's part of the software as a service. We will have an API. We'll have all the developer toolkit.
And you said you had many people using this already. Are those people using it because they received a DVD on which the app exists, but they're aware or not aware of it?
I would say that most people probably aren't aware of it, and that's what we designed it.
that?
I like to say that good menu design is kind of like a good soundtrack. If it's really good, you're not aware of it. You might notice it, but you don't really want to notice the menus. You want to get to the content. And so when a lot of people have said, well, why are you creating authoring tools that don't allow me to actually design anything? You're templatizing everything. It's like, well, what we're doing is we open that up so anybody can create a template, but it's all about the best practices in usability. People don't want to relearn interfaces. This is one of my pet peeves I come from the world of Blu-ray and DVD. This isn't my first company. My first company was called Interactual Technologies. We were part of the feature set for and essential for DVD. Now part of Roxio, Sonic, and I guess it's Rovi. Rovi is the name of the company now. But I forgot what the question was.
We were just talking about the number of users and whether they're aware of the adoption.
Scale.
And the use.
So yes, the users get the apps because they look at the special features on their Blu-ray discs, and they say, oh, there's a special feature, that's cool, I'll get that. And so, but I don't think they're thinking about it as being our company or anything like that.
You're worried about the branding issue, whether their brand is lost or whatever. Yeah.
Visibility.
Yeah.
Visibility on the Blu-ray and how it pops out
Right.
to grab people.
Yeah. I
So
think
how do you become the brand of choice for other entertainment companies or other people who could, in the near term, when you depend on that kind of revenue stream, how can you become?
Well, I think
raise
a
awareness?
push into the industry so that everybody starts to use the technology, and then there will be an inherent people will notice the brand as they start saying, oh, I have to go get this. It's kind of like a web browser or Adobe Flash, where somebody, in order to get this content, you need to get this app. So
How are you funding it now? Are you generating actual revenue today?
Yeah, we're generating production revenue from the studios. So it's going to scale when we release a tool.
Nice.
And then it will scale again when we get to advertising revenue.
And are you looking for funding as well, or are you
Yeah, we're looking for funding. Yeah.
And the studio deals, are they blanket deals, meaning they employ the technology for their library of content they're going to be releasing, or is it a per film kind of deal?
That's a great question. We're currently working on a per film type of deal, but we're also talking to lots of different library types of companies. So you can work on any corpus of media, and we're actually going to be improving to your point, the audience free version of the app so that people can start creating their own enhanced content.
Chris,
Excellent.
can you tell us? I'm sorry.
We have to cut off questions. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But
invite me back tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe. There we go. There's.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.